Thanks for tuning in to Royals Uncut, Episode 3. In Episode 1, we brought you Donald Trump for president and Obamacare.
In Episode 2, we brought you Black Issues, Part 1 and 2.
Today in Episode 3, we're going to talk about a clip from Boys Walking, where he's talking about the rapper Future. He promotes drugs in his songs because it's catchy.
Oh, it's catchy, huh? We hope you enjoy the show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow us at Royals Uncut on Twitter and Instagram. Hope y'all enjoyed it, man.
From the Black Business School. I wanted to talk about something that I think young people, especially brothers, and just really anybody who cares about black people, should probably think about a little bit. It has to do with the rapper Future. I guess he changed his name to Future Hendrix. And he said something that got my attention, and I think it's worth talking about real quick. He mentions drugs, and he was asked, I guess, about The Source or maybe another magazine. I know it was in The Source, but I know actually the interview was at a French website called Click, and he has a song called Codeine Crazy, which is one of those songs in hip hop that has really encouraged a lot of black men to sip on that cup, on that purple, whatever. And he's not the only one. There's a lot of rappers who talk about this for a few years. And they really don't they're not so quick to rap about all the people that have been killed off this stuff. All the people that have committed crimes while they were high or whatever. They'll talk about the glamour of it, the glory of it. And what's sad is that I hear from a lot of young black men who are in prison or who have a friend who got murdered or whatever. And a lot of times that will happen under the influence. And so, me as a father, as a human being, I can't help but
slow your heart rate down.
In the way
that was also a mixture of the codeine and the ecstasy.
Oh, he was on ecstasy too? But they don't do ecstasy no more in pill form. They got that shit like Miley form.
It was Lex had something in it, and he lost his mind for a whole day. He didn't remember half of anything he did. He went around. He did a carjacking. He murdered somebody. He punched a girl in the face.
He ain't know nothing about.
And the next day, he was in prison. In jail, and they gave him life in prison. He just barely escaped the death penalty, and he was about 19 years old, still really young, and said that, they asked him, they said, well, what penalty do you think you deserve? And he said, I guess I deserve to die. Because he said, I just smoked weed, and I didn't know what it was going to do to me. And next thing you know, he's in prison for life, so he's going to have the next 50, 60, 70 years to think about that one moment where he got high, and where it fucked everything up in his life. And I felt so bad for him because the thing is, we don't tell young black men these messages. We would make a song that say, don't get high, smoke weed every day, drink your codeine, just you ain't nothing but a dumbass nigga. And we would do that all day because white people will pay us money to do that. They will pay you money to destroy your own people. Because you are the best ambassador for black self-destruction. The best ambassador, the best representative for black genocide is another black man talking to a young black man. And so Here's the thing. Here's the thing that's interesting.
Listen to what he's saying. He said,
as I was reading this article, and I'm not hating on Future, by the way. I've listened to a lot of his music. Future is very, very talented. Very talented. The best way to serve black people poison is to put it to a good beat. Future always has a good beat. His lyrics ain't nothing really. It's like right, and I know it sounds silly to hear me do this, but what that really is basically a toxic nursery rhyme laid out to a specific cadence that is going to get your body and your instinctual mind connected to the flow of the song. The other thing about Future that's interesting is that he's intelligent. He's a smart man. He's bragging in the interview about closing deals with Nike and Rolex and stuff like that. All these other white companies that are paying him money to sell poison to black people. That's a good business. If you really care nothing about black people and you want to see black people dead and destroyed, then all you got to do is just either put it in music or in the food or just whatever, and some white person will pay you to do that. But what bothers me is not so much when an ignorant person says something ignorant. What bothers me is when an intelligent person pretends to be ignorant in order to make music, sell records, or whatever.
Not just
that's deep right there.
Just the music,
that's deep right there. That's deep because this guy, he's not no dummy.
I don't like intelligent
and he know exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's saying just to make that money.
People selling their soul, man, for the almighty dollar.
But I'm just saying, why you gotta sell your soul? Why you just can't do the right thing and still get paid, bro?
It's not the way of the world.
What you mean the way of the world?
What I'm saying is,
who controlling the world? I mean, I'm just saying, who the person behind pulling the strings? The question I want to ask. Who's pulling the strings?
Here's the question. So do you think like these artists out here should they like not promote or talk about doing drugs in their music?
Okay, also my thing is like
because like that's what my man talking about. He's saying that's hurting this generation coming up.
But that's what I'm saying.
I agree on that.
But that's what I'm saying. The new boy think that's the thing to do. Then why ain't nobody stepping up to the forefront and saying, "Hold on, bro, that ain't the thing to do, bro. Y'all, hey, this ain't right." They just going along with the program. You feel what I'm saying?
Like he said, man, they gangster music sales, and there's some positive rap out there.
But why? That's not being more like a brainwash technique type thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like you remember back in the G, we had Public Enemy or fucking Poor Righteous Teachers, and it was a balance. There's no balance now. They just feeding. They giving you straight raw. Go on, like I said, be a dumbass nigga. Get coked up. Go on the codeine. Look, I'm getting high. I got my money. Hey, you better get yours like I got mine. Matter of fact, when you get your money, don't even try to buy these houses that's in your community. Man, look, move over here with us.
That's how they decided to control us, though, dog. Well, not saying us, but through the media, like you said, media.
But that's what I'm saying.
But and the thing is, the guy out there that's trying to, promote the good music, and other rappers, they don't want to hear that. They don't. I mean, the radio stations, they rather play the music that's promoting, negative stuff.
So what's the bottom? The bottom line is it's all about money, right? Because the market is looking for a certain type of lyrics or music,
But
so they're looking for someone to come and say, "I'm high, I got this, I'm doing this." Instead of looking for someone who's gonna come say, "Okay, let's do this." In order for our community to be better.
That's what I'm saying. So we don't see that, not us though, but black people as a whole or our community, you know what I'm saying? We don't see that shit bringing us down. Y'all
we do.
Have a problem with that, bro?
We do. It's just that.
Now, they like he said, they like Future gonna have a catchy beat and that catchy hook, and then it's like the young people get caught on that, and then all the rappers is pretty much out there smoking and getting high, so that's cool too. So it's like that's the trend. They want to do what's trendy out here.
But what happens as you age and get older, like Cuz was saying, you know what I'm saying?
It's the now. Forget about the future. Now we thinking we in the now. The young people is thinking now.
But that's what I'm telling you. That's not even just the young people. Now we talking like young people in music now. Ain't that the same thing that the consumers are doing too? Well, shit, man, I just got my check. I want them new Louis Vuitton shoes. Shit, I'm gonna go on and get these shoes instead of putting something back. You feel me? We don't put, because everybody want what's now. That makes sense, and that's stupid.
I mean, well,
what can we do to change that? Like, right now we're having a conversation, right?
Yeah.
It's about us being together and changing ideas, okay? So, as a community, what can we do to help, young people to avoid that trend?
I think we need to set up some type of platform and show these people it's another way too. Well, not just one way, because everybody ain't gonna make it rapping. Everybody ain't gonna make it as a model. Everybody, we need more doctors, lawyers, judges, politicians, black police, architects.
What would be good if the artists themselves was started? The
people that got the influence. That's what I'm saying. But they ain't gonna do it because they feel like that's gonna hurt their pockets or their endorsements and some shit.
But that goes back. I don't know. I saw something one time. I'm big on history. Watching the Civil War at the beginning, there was an old white man, and they were saying, seriously, they were saying, you know, they were sitting around the round table looking at the Constitution, and they were saying, you know, in freeing the slaves, what are we going to do? And one alpha stood up and he said, well, we're going to control them through the media. We're going to control them through their black heroes by polluting their mind and having them do what we need them to do. So what you're seeing now, it's all in the play, and it's been going on from the beginning of time all the way up to here.
So the question is, when
if you look back into the 80s, it was going on then with Bad Boy Rick James. You feel me?
Right.
With the drugs and the party.
Right.
You feel me? All things did was transform from to the next generation. To the next generation.
My thing is, when do we sit down and say, hold on, bro, the strings is default pulling our strings now. We need to change this. I want that Ferrari. I want that i8. I want that Rolex. I can get that through only being a big time business owner. I don't gotta keep killing my people and doing this. I need to get with some people that can show me how to get money, how to get my credit right. You know what I'm saying? Like the energy levels, dog. The shit messed up, dog. Yes,
but drugs is all right because America just told us because they legalized marijuana. It's okay. It's okay, y'all. It's all right to smoke weed. It's all right to do drugs because America just said it's all right.
But like Cuz was saying though,
because we can make money off of it. Because we can make money off of it. That's why it's okay.
Right. Yeah. And then, but now that's just like
now if the drug dealer get caught with a whole bunch, it's not all right.
Right. No, it is all right because they make more money off of you being locked up than they make.
It's not all right first, but then it's all right because we can make some money off.
Yeah, because like Cuz was saying, these folk create a problem for you, and they provide you with the solution. It's like Malcolm X said, Cuz, you go out there and drink the beer, you get drunk, they lock your ass up. So they providing you with the beer, and they lock your ass up for being drunk. You see what I'm saying? But they creating the problems and the solution.
They've been doing it from the beginning.
And why?
Yeah. I really don't have an answer.
And why? Because the answer is as long as they can make some money.
But America, like I said, it's a capitalistic society though.
There's another thing also, like most of us right here have kids, right?
Right.
Okay. I think a lot of also things start from home.
Right.
You know, if you have a kid that have the dad and the mom together, they have two people who are gonna help them to be on the right path. Okay. So if you start educating your kids from home, okay, these are the things that are gonna happen if you do this when they're young age. That kind of give them kind of to be straight when they're on the streets.
But then when the parents ain't there?
That's the problem. That's the problem. That's another problem.
Kids is products of their environment.
Social.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it comes down to choices too.
So we need to promote family, okay?
Right.
We need to promote people being together as parents in order to help the kids.
You never see that. You really never see that.
People don't promote that. People don't promote. You have to promote all the things.
Promoted back.
You know what I'm saying?
The same. It was bad for business. That's why they stopped promoting.
Okay, that's the thing. It's bad for business, but it's hurting us, though. It's hurting us.
It helps us.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because it should be two parents in the household, like you said, raising the kids. But like I was talking to my partner, and he was saying how he broke it down to me, like you might have 3 brothers and sisters, or like siblings. So he said this kid might not show the progression that the parents want, so they're gonna have another kid. Then that kid might be a little bit more smarter than this, you know what I'm saying? And it's like the third kid, he might go to jail. Just keep, stay in and out of jail, or you understand what I'm saying? But you're right, it's a family structure thing, dog. But at the end of the day, you don't get that force fed down you. Only thing down you know what I'm saying? Like how they keep hitting you with the images that we see. Man, look, go on, get high, be a dumbass nigga like dude was saying. Damn, that girl fine, man. Look at that. You feel me? Shit, man, I'm finna go to the club. I'm about to go to the strip club. I need to try to meet me something like that. You got a good wife at home, but shit, that ain't good enough. You know what I'm saying? You like, shit, man, I need to step out and go. Now you got a baby on the way, or now, you feel me? Some other shit. And you don't want to have nothing to do with her. So this girl ends up raising that kid by herself. Or, you feel me? This nigga selling dope, he might get locked up. So he get removed from the household. You know what I'm saying? So now the streets is raising the kids, and the mama, she don't have the resources to put her kid in like prestigious school or some shit like that. You understand what I'm saying? So she forced to put them in public school. And then what's going on is monkey see, monkey do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, damn, Jordan is the only fucking shoe. Nigga, when I was in school, nigga, right now I got on Air Max. You understand what I'm saying? Man, I gotta get my J's and man, come on, bro. It's another shoe, y'all. Try to be an individual and quit being a follower. And that's what's happening. They keep promoting the followers, bro. You feel me? I got the purse, or I got the new Gucci purse.
So what's a good what's a good solution to this problem right here? Promoting drugs and music. I mean, what can we really do to make a difference out here?
Bring back Arrested Development.
No, also, I think what we can do.
But again, that's another influence.
Right.
So
That was a good influence.
but you're substituting one influence for another influence. So when is it time to say, okay, I don't have to keep bringing other people to show me the way, but let me change my mind and start figuring out a way that I can teach other people. Even like yesterday, I didn't tell my daughter, oh, go in your room, write a book. She's 7. She did that all on her own. She did 10 chapters of short stories and was like, I want you to read this.
The young mind.
And the TV's on in her room. She got toys. She got a big dollhouse
But
for
she ain't
Christmas.
her brain.
None of that stuff mattered. She just wanted to sit down and write a book. And she said, I want this book in the library. I said, okay.
And she can do that.
Yeah, I said, we'll put it to the side. I'll edit it, and then we'll see what we can do with it. But
So you be writing books?
No. I have never wrote a book in a day in my life.
But you gonna make sure this gets
I'm
done
going
for
to say, look, we're going to see what we can do for
Yeah,
it. If
it's
that's
gonna
your
happen.
interest, you
It's
know?
gonna happen.
So it's all
focused
about,
on that.
I never told her, sit down, do this. That's just something that she took upon herself to do. And it's all about what she see around her. You know, she goes to school just like everybody else in public school.
Images, though.
Yeah, but she sees me, I can't talk right now, I'm working, you know, so she sees me working on my computer, on my website, internet, you know, I'm doing stuff, and my husband's downstairs, he's on the computer doing stuff. So she sees that we're doing things other than just sitting and watching TV.
And that,
You know, and it's kind of like, oh, mommy's working, daddy's working. Okay, maybe I should go in here and work. And then she said, well, I'll come back to you guys and we'll have a meeting. I'm like, a meeting? You're 7 years
But
old.
that's cool, though.
You know, come
That's
to my
cool.
office. Your room is your office now. So it's
Right.
more of a, you know, you don't know what you give off. But if you try to do positive things, then
now what the
eventually
kids see.
you
Yeah,
will
the
give
kid-
off some positive
You
energy.
cursing and shit,
Yeah.
like you said.
And see, that's one good
energy.
solution. The household has to show the young person and the direction in which to go.
Yeah, it's started from
Because
there.
they're
That's where it starts.
influenced
That's where it
all day,
That's
every
good.
day. They're
Because
influenced
you know what?
all around them, all the time.
Yeah.
So if you're showing that, yeah, when you go to school, there's going to be some kids around you that's going to bully you. And she even wrote a chapter about bullying, you know? And it's just like, but when you come home, we don't bully you here. We make you very independent. You go get your own clothes. You know, give your own stuff. You pick out what you want to eat. You have very, you know, independency around here. But at school, yes, you're structured. You have to do this. You have to do that. But know how to follow rules and know how to be a leader at the same time is what you need to
And see,
focus
that's what
on.
I'm saying. They not promote well, like we saying with the solution in the household, following the rules. I like the research that I've been seeing is it seems like in school they teaching you to be live by our rules. They don't teach you about economics. they really training the minds to be slaves. That's what I think.
Yeah, public school, they have the goal is to put in the brain of the kids how they want them to be. That's the reality. I mean, that's why a lot of people, some people choose to do homeschool. You know why?
Right.
Because
You training
certain things on the public school they don't agree with.
Right.
You know.
And
but
I'm even thinking about doing
a lot of people end up doing homeschool.
or
Right.
something.
They got what a child can do. They whatever grade they in the line.
Well, they still have programs where they go and they still have interactions with kids and PE and social time.
Yeah, but
their book time is at home and they're more focused, and then you build up their study habits that way. So when they go to college, they can balance. It's time to study, and then it's time to party. So you can balance it without feeling like you're missing out on the fun. Knowing it's study time and know how to study and having good study habits will then allow you to still have fun and still have social time. Because then you're going to get back to your books,
I ain't gonna lie, man.
So.
No, when we was in school though,
Yeah, we studied and partied, but I didn't flunk out of school.
Yeah, see, that
and
was
I
the
still
no-no
had
in my
fun.
house.
Right, we had
Yeah.
you had to do your
Hey, you
work,
graduate,
but
huh?
you can still have
Right.
fun. But you just gotta know how to balance life.
But
don't
ain't
let
that the
other
same
people
thing now as adults like us now? You know you gotta get up tomorrow to go to work. So tonight, you ain't gonna go to no Super Bowl party, get super drunk, because it's your responsibility and your standard level.
Yeah.
Your standard level high. You feel me?
But
So,
again, there are some people that are gonna go out there, get drunk,
And
maybe
then
get
still
locked
go to
up
work.
and lose their job
Job,
tomorrow.
yeah, that too.
So
And that, but
it happens.
Choices, right?
Right, it's choices. It's always a choice.
Damn.
And then Ice Cube, I like
I love Ice Cube.
he came from
But
showing
the
rap
man
in the rap
changed.
game, but he had to change his mindset.
Evolved, but it's
He had to change behaviors, and then he wanted to get into the kids world. So what do you have to do? You can't be cussing and fussing. You have to show the kids way.
Right.
And
And that
such as 50 Cent. He started changing his behaviors,
Right, yeah.
So a lot of people will get into the industry in the bad way, but deep down inside, they're in it and they may be trying to change and move another direction.
But that's
the opportunity.
Like the
That's
dude
the
was
money.
saying, he got a problem, and like we have a problem. That's why we having this open discussion, because we got a problem with. We got the intelligence level, so why we gotta dumb ourselves down and promote the negativity just so we can get a couple dollars?
Well, just like when other, like you said, if it's in other household where you have those that's running Subways, that's running QTs, things like that, they are getting the money, but they're using it for other things. They may be using it to put money back into their communities or put money into their school and their colleges. So we have to do the same thing. It's not really what you're doing now, but is that money funding what you're trying to do in the background? And again, you may have to do some things in the sense of, what society wants you to look like. But in the back of your mind, if you don't allow that to overpower you,
right?
then it won't be you, So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. Y'all have some great ideas about making changes, better for the children, and all these things. It sounds good. It really does. And we stay prayed up and focused as a whole. Maybe we'll get there one day. You know what I mean? But the reality that I see.
What's the reality? What's the reality?
No, I'm saying it's a blessing your household is like that. That's a beautiful thing. But it's so many households that's not like that. You feel me?
Well,
There's many households
and I have
dysfunctional than them all.
I have members in my
But what's the thing is, what's the solution? What can we do to make it better? We can't keep.
make it better to save your household.
But see, look what he said. Look what you just look what he said.
Promote.
He said,
We have to promote.
Yeah.
Better get yours.
But I think what he meant by was seeing
That
is
ain't cool.
believing.
Right.
I think it's more of seeing is believing constantly.
What you mean saying believe?
Meaning,
What we were sitting over there
if you
talking
have-
about, I showed you where I came from, brother.
Yeah.
Read that shit.
If you have people in your family that are doing things you don't agree with,
But now, and I ain't talking about just for me. I'm out here telling these folks, look here, man.
And you
Come,
you bringing people
let me show
in.
you something.
Yeah.
If you roll with me and turn the damn negativity off in your life, bro.
Yeah, you can
Step on
change.
this side for give me 6 months to work with you, dog.
Yeah.
Like,
But
6 months, I can show you something,
but
man.
my thing is, why can we not protesting to these record labels, to these video sites and whatnot, saying, hey, we don't want
That's the thing that's gotta be done.
we can take
That
entertainment,
makes
but we want some good entertainment.
But haven't that just taken place? And what happened to the backlash?
So
Who doing that?
What's about to come up soon? What are they trying to boycott now?
The Oscar, the Oscar.
Or the Oscars.
That's
Oscars.
We don't even watch
So,
the
but wait a
Oscars,
minute. But who was the first ones that came out and said they were going to do something about it?
Will.
Exactly. And who is
Jada
he?
Smith.
He's an artist, right?
Right.
They're artists, right? So these are people that's in the industry, that's in the field, that's saying things. But is it going to change anything?
Well, they saying that because they didn't
His
nominate
movie,
him.
his
But again, it doesn't matter why. And that's the thing. It's like you're gonna say, "Oh, they doing it just because of this." But let's be honest here. How many times have people watched it and never spoke out about it? So if they said it, regardless of why they said it,
had to say it back.
but again, if they said it because of whatever reason they said it.
Right.
You know, and there's a lot of people that sit back at home watching it that never said it but had the thoughts. And
Right.
sometimes it just, even though it comes out of somebody else's mouth, it still doesn't move, but still you need to keep moving along in your mind because everything has to be based off of what you feel
Right.
at the end of the day.
Right.
Nobody little people on a big totem. We little people on a big totem pole.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got $1.2 trillion as a whole without the voice of Will Smith or the voice of Oprah Winfrey. I'm talking about the consumerism. We can stop spending our money with the people that keep standing on our damn neck.
Organize people to get that done.
But then what I'm saying, when you drugged up and you want to listen to a good beat and you at the club shaking your ass, how you gonna have you in a zombie mode, brother?
Yeah. But people behind the scene, people who own those corporations, like the Oscar and stuff like that, or producer and all those people. Maybe what we need to do is most of those producers, whatever they either, I'm not talking about race. If I talk about races, most of them are white. Okay.
Hold on,
Let's
talk about what?
race.
Race?
Yeah.
What race? Black and white?
Yeah, black
Do
and
you
white.
know what racism is? Tell me what racism is. You know what racism is?
I'm talking about as far as no. I'm not getting to that point right now. That's another whole conversation that will take forever. Okay, what I'm trying to say is put people behind the scene, those owners, people who own those corporations. Put people behind the scene that want the good of our community. If you put those people behind the scene, that's another thing that can change. Because like the Oscar. To have somebody nominated to Oscar, you have to act. Acting is what makes you have a nomination. So if they don't put you in these big movies, you will never get nominations. So have people behind the scene that can choose. They can choose. Say, okay, I'm going to choose you to have the acting role in my movie, the main role. That's how we can get more nominations.
Okay, but then again, that's going to be stopping someone's income. So that's a big problem right there. If you want to be an actor,
you can do different things.
Because if you don't do what you need to do with the money that you receive from the first, set of movies that you did before, and you're not doing, you're not buying X, Y, and Z, you're not out here splurging for all your kids, and you're actually putting money into, things that's gonna grow, then at the end of the day, you're back to square one. You're back trying to scrounge and find out who can I work for, who can I kiss on this movie to get into this film. So now you're going back to the people who is going to be controlling who's going to be, nominated for this and who's going to be nominated for that. So at the end of the day, you're back to square one if you don't do what you have to do with the money you had at the beginning. So it's all about just that reversal, just getting things and putting it in the right area and then not focusing on running back.
Look at what you're saying. Why we can't just run our own film companies and our own
you can, but there's only one person that's, actively doing that right now, and it's in Atlanta. But at the same time, you know, he can't keep putting all black people to work, and that's the only person that he can do is put black people to work. You know, he has to help, or you have to find the next producer or the next film artist, and start driving money or doing donations for that person or for that short film individual, because they have short films that goes on, they show at Atlanta all the time. I went to one a couple of years ago, but at the same time, there's just people walking around talking about what they do, and I'm a model and I'm an actor, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But instead of saying, oh, all you guys do film, let me write a check and donate to your film. Let me write a check and donate to what your cause is.
Because it'll be a tax write-off anyway, but shit, man.
But you're
It's
not,
just the percentage of black people who can make those decisions are so slim compared to other, you know, like whites or so. That's why when they start talking about Oscar, we don't have a lot of black nominees. It's because of the percentage of people making that is so slim.
I mean, do you really need to have an Oscar though? Does that define you as an actor?
It shouldn't, but
you really need to have an Oscar.
Now everybody's talking about it, you know.
I'm just saying. So it has to go back to the individual. If you really want to have that Oscar, then you're gonna go and fight to be an Oscar nominee.
Hey, racism is a competitive relationship among groups of people who are competing for ownership and control of resources, wealth, and power. Don't get it twisted about the black and white, or a race between Asian, white, black, Hispanic, every nationality, racing to see who gonna bring their people to the forefront. It ain't no black and white thing. See, black people don't know, or not even black people, white people too, or any color. They got it twisted thinking, oh, I don't like you because of your skin color. It never was about your skin color, dog. It's all about who's gonna control the resources, the wealth, and the power. And that's why these folks is fighting amongst each other, and they keeping us down. And that's the problem that I have, for the simple fact that it's like, yo, when do we jump in the race?
Well,
so we can compete for the resources.
Well, the bottom line
and that's
is,
when the Oscar was the perfect
Spike Lee
example.
said, and do the right thing, do the right thing, do the right thing. Wake up!
The dream motherfucker sleep,
You know, the other day I was riding, man, you know, they got that commercial about the Boys and the Girls Club. Denzel Washington be on there, and he be like, you know, I went there when I was a young boy, and look at the impact it has had on me and my life. You know what I'm saying? Well, they don't have. When the last time you seen a Boys and Girls Club? When the last time you seen a community center in any neighborhood? You don't see any of these things anymore. Right. You know why? Because they know those were resources that gave us guidance, motivation, help those to read that didn't know how to read, whatever. You feel me? Now there's some things going on.
Do you know how much it costs to start one?
How much? Nothing.
Will you be like a 501?
First of all, it's a nonprofit. Yep. First of all, it's a nonprofit organization. You just need to make sure you have your people in order. Who are the members? What do they bring to the table?
So we need to organize something.
You
like
organize it. All these buildings that are, you know, abandoned, you clean it up. You don't need it. No, you don't have to buy. You find out if it can be leased. And then everybody can get together, pay the monthly lease on there. Right. And then you can go in with your hands and your own tools and fix up your stuff. You know how to paint the walls, right? Right, you know how to paint the walls. You know how to be creative. It's some artists out here that can make your poster board, you know.
That's one solution.
So, things can be done. It's just who has the capital to do it.
Well, basically, in a nutshell, we have to, as a nation, as a black people, we have to get our young folks to get on course, to do the right thing and do things that is different from what they doing, all the negative stuff. So whatever that's gonna take, let's do it.
Hey.